Please be seated. Your Excellency, Dr. Julius Madabio, President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, and our hostess, Her Excellency Dr. Fatima Madabio, First Lady of the Republic of Sierra Leone, the Honorable Speaker of the Parliament of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Your Excellencies, Madam First Lady of Upland and First Ladies present, government ministers, UN Secretariat personnel, distinguished representatives, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, dear guests. It is my honor to commence the formal part of tonight's proceedings and to welcome you to this high-level dinner. This evening, we gather to reflect on our shared commitment to ending child marriage and to celebrate the progress we have made in protecting the rights of children across Sierra Leone and beyond. I would like to extend a special welcome to His Excellency, the President of Sierra Leone, and Her Excellency, the First Lady of Sierra Leone. Your tireless dedication to advancing the rights of children and advocating for their future has been instrumental in the progress we have seen. I also warmly acknowledge and welcome the First Ladies of the Organization of African First Ladies for Development and all First Ladies that will join us tonight. Your leadership and unwavering advocacy in protecting the right of our girls, in fighting against harmful practices like child marriage, are truly commendable. Tonight we celebrate a landmark achievement in Sierra Leone, the enactment of the Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2024. I should also note that an impactful and pleasant evening awaits you as we hear a bit more on the legislation and call to action from our speakers. We will have solidarity and goodwill messages and a special message from His Excellency the President and an expression of thanks by Madam First Lady Dr. Fatima Madabio. Before the statement, we'll start with a very short video.
Deep in the heart of West Africa lies Sierra Leone, a nation with rich history, culture, and hospitable people. Like many African countries, Sierra Leonean girls continue to fight against the age-old obnoxious practice of child marriage, rape, and gender-based violence. This insidious act has kept many of the country's girls in poverty and at the mercy of men. The powerful voice has risen to champion their rights and futures. The First Lady, Dr. Fatima Madabio, has not only become a beacon of hope and change, but an inspiration to current and future generations of young girls. Since 2018, her unwavering efforts to empower girls have brought significant transformations in countless lives. Join us as we explore the remarkable journey and the new dawn leading to the passage of the Prohibition of Child Marriage Bill 2024. With his ascension to power in 2018, President Bill ushered a new direction that injected hope into a nation in despair, opportunities to the less privileged, and laying the foundation for the leap to a middle-income country. Side by side, the nation's mother has been a pillar of support to President Bill.
You all know the priority of His Excellency, my husband, retired Brigadier Julius Madabio. Human capital development with free quality education. I thought within myself that the only way the free quality education can become more meaningful and appreciated by all is when the girls have the same opportunities as boys.
Driven by a burning passion for justice and equality, Her Excellency Dr. Fatima Madavia launched the House of Our Girls campaign in 2018, a trailblazing moment for Sierra Leonean girls. That singular act restored the dignity of girls, coupled with her husband's free education campaign. The hopes of the nation's next generation of female leaders were restored. This initiative aimed to combat sexual violence, eradicate early child marriage, and fiercely advocate for the rights of young girls in a society where women and girls are mostly used, abused, and have little or no say in decision making, even in issues affecting their lives. The Hands Off Our Girls campaign had a far-reaching impact. For the first time, it brought to the fore a critical issue that men shy away from. Like a commander in a theatre of war, the First Lady braved it and led the nation in an unprecedented campaign that made news beyond the shores of Sierra Leone. Her efforts did not go unnoticed in the global stage, as she was highly acclaimed by her peers and other global leaders. She was touted as a reformer and a champion of girls' and women's rights. Yet, despite these efforts, a critical loophole remained within the Child Rights Act of 2012, the consent clause, which inadvertently allowed child marriage to persist. International data painted a harsh reality and a grim picture of high rates of infant and maternal mortality, with many child deaths during childbirth linked to the prevalence of rape and child marriage. Even with the campaign's success, Her Excellency Dr. Fatima Madavia knew more needed to be done, and she increased her zest to achieve another goal. Fatima Bio's advocacy extends far beyond Sierra Leone's borders. She has passionately addressed the Global Conference on the Elimination of Child Labor in Nairobi, Kenya, and various United Nations programs. These platforms have amplified her voice, bringing global attention to the issues facing girls in Sierra Leone.
The silence about these issues in Africa is going on for far too long, and I am bored of just being silenced. That ecosystem where a woman should not speak up, I don't belong in that league.
Determined to close this loophole, Dr. Fatima Madavia spearheaded the drafting of the Prohibition of Child Marriage Bill 2024. She assembled a team of legal and technical experts and embarked on the rigorous processes of transforming her vision into reality. Initial consultations were held with the diverse stakeholders, culminating in a high-level meeting at the Ransom Blue, which laid the foundation for this historic achievement.
And cannot continue to go back to the people who don't fix the laws of early marriage. And I want to continue to be going back to our people for the time that I have here as the First Lady. Let me use it to serve these children and make sure they're safe. All I'm asking you to do is use me, because I am here now and I am committed to this cause, and I want this thing to happen. And I want all the laws that protect every child in this country to happen, and not just happen, not just be a policy on paper, but implemented. So by the time I retire, I will say I was part of that journey that changed the narrative. I am not a specialist in these things, but I know my drive to make it happen. You cannot measure it. And that's why I don't want to be scripted when I talk about these issues. I want to talk from my heart. because I believe in what I am saying, and I know with you people, no one can stop us if we take any bill that concerns a child in this country.
The First Lady's engagement with Parliament was crucial. She was able to galvanize bipartisan support. She engaged the female caucus in Parliament Room 1 and was invited to a retreat organized by the female caucus in Tokyo, an event the First Lady used to broaden lawmakers' understanding and underscore the bill's importance. The bill underwent thorough pre-legislative hearings and debates. The passion and determination of its advocates culminated in a unanimous vote in favor of the Prohibition of Child Marriage Bill 2024. On a momentous day in Sierra Leone's history, June 20th, 2024, First Lady Fatima Bill's tireless advocacy for girls reached its pinnacle. After a crucial debate, Parliament passed the Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2024. This groundbreaking law ushers in a new era where no child under 18 will be forced into marriage. Within the old halls of Parliament, hundreds witnessed the passing of this historic legislation. Civil society organizations, advocates, and state officials stood united in support of this critical step forward, protecting girls and unshackling them from a tradition that has made their lives miserable.
Despite the progress on rape due to the Council of our girls' women, child marriage seems to undo all the things due to the fragmentation of laws in the country, including existing laws, thereby continuing to be a major impediment to the campaign.
I want to say thank you to Madam Hossein for bringing all of us on board. It is not the bill of the SLP. It is not the law of the governing government. It is the law that will stand the test of time. It is the law that will stand to protect our rights. It is the law that will protect all of us. It is the law that will protect my children's children. And it is the law that will protect
We want this bill to pass as quickly because our children are our business. We want our children to have better days in the future. And as mothers, we are happy that this bill is here for us. And we want to allay all fears that when it comes to our children, we are not APC like the SDP.
Even the opposition leader, Honorable Abdul acknowledged the bill's significance. He cited data from UNICEF and Save the Children, emphasizing the importance of such a law.
We should do everything within the limits of our power to ensure that this bill goes through expeditiously. We should do everything within our power to ensure that nothing stops this bill from passing in this world of Parliament. Most of you are of the opinion that it's only the First Lady that will be remembered. Interestingly, our name is not even on the bill. It's not on the bill. Interestingly, it is the Parliament that passes the bill that will be remembered that, oh, the sixth Parliament of the Second Republic passed a bill. So she is stating, us members of Parliament do what is correct. And let us do our best. Posterity will judge us if we don't do what is correct for our kids.
Honorable members, the question is that the bill entitled the Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2024 be read the third time and passed into law. All those in favor say aye. All those against say nay. The ayes have it.
In the midst of the demeaning fanfare and jubilation following the passing into law of the Prohibition of Early Child Marriage Bill 2024, The First Lady, Dr. Fatima Mardabio, again pioneered the launch of the We Are Equal campaign at the Bintumani International Conference Centre, west of Freetown. Another sparkling achievement as an aftermath of the First Lady's successful advocacy for the enactment of the bill. Sierra Leone became the 7th country in the whole of Africa to host the campaign after Rwanda, which was the 6th. The campaign is an initiative of the Organisation of African First Ladies Development as part of a global effort to promote gender equality and empowerment of women and girls.
And especially address my dear sister Fatima, First Lady of Sierra Leone, with the words of appreciation and recognition for choosing the theme, abolish child marriage and keep them learning. This theme highlights one of the most pressing issues facing many African countries, and at the same time ensure the achievement of some of the SDGs targets.
And this is the essence of what we're trying to do in the We Are Equal. We're not the same, but we are equal. And we don't look to these, but we do need to be.
Once again, in front of her husband, the President, fellow First Ladies and State dignitaries Dr. Fatima Mardabio reiterated the unmatched significance of the Prohibition of Early Child Marriage Bill 2024 and the promising climate that the law's post-enactment era will soon begin to unravel for girls in Sierra Leone. She says the We Are Equal campaign, which is themed Abolish Child Marriage to Keep Them Learning, is a recipe to close the gender gap in Africa.
The We Are Equal campaign has outlined the multitude of problems affecting women and girls in Africa as prioritized health, education, gender-based violence, and empowerment as the foundation on which we shall gain equality. The main aim of the campaign is to close gender gap on the African continent. We, the First Ladies, are simply saying to you that it is neither a tragedy nor a failure, but it is common sense, it is fairness, and it is just. It is a just cause that we girls benefit from all of us in our continent. This is the stage that all the First Ladies of Africa so far have reached. We are not saying more, we are not saying leave. They say treat us with respect and treat us with dignity.
The work on the bill was finished, well, almost until the first gentleman of the Republic of Sierra Leone, a man who is widely known just like his wife, to be a champion of women's rights and empowerment, His Excellency retired Brigadier Dr. Julius Mardabio, in an act of gallantry and remarkable statesmanship, appended his signature on the legislation that will save the lives and futures of girls in the country. Just like many other courageous and successful men in the world, Dr. Julius Mardabio testified that his level of bravery and successes obtained is owed to his beautiful wife, Dr. Fatima Mardabio, who has been his strongest pillar of support.
Sierra Leone is more than ready to embrace this campaign. Our commitment and concerted effort in widening the political, economic, and legal space for our women in drugs to express the desire and the impact of our national development is comparative. I'm always grateful to my political friends, allies, and supporters who have been with me all throughout. But in all of that, the unwavering constant, so thick and thin, is always my wife. It's no surprise that we are amongst the best performers because of our common agenda to drive gender equality was planned, intentional, and deliberate. This is because we believe that sustainable economic growth in Sierra Leone can only happen if we choose our women vote alone.
Her Excellency Fatima Madabi's story exemplifies how dedication and determination can truly change the world. Her relentless advocacy has transformed countless lives, and the enactment of the Prohibition of Child Marriage Act is a testament to her unwavering commitment to girls' rights. As the Latin phrase goes, plura cetera in juris sunt, more is surely to come. This is just the beginning, as a brighter and more equitable future for Sierra Leone girls is now within reach. This documentary is dedicated to the resilient girls of Sierra Leone and to the unwavering spirit of those to fight for their rights.
Thank you. Thank you. It's okay.
Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, often we've heard that storytelling is of great importance. The impact of storytelling is true. What is more significant is really the storyteller telling your own story. Bored of being silent. Be bothered by being silent. Well, thanks to the Office of the First Lady for really putting together this important and impactful video, an excellent storyteller of the important work that His Excellency the President and Madam First Lady have done. Now we get to solidarity messages and goodwill messages. And I have the distinguished honor to invite Her Excellency Mrs. Rachel Ruto, First Lady of the Republic of Kenya, to give a very short solidarity message. Your Excellency. Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, continuing with the same goodwill messages, it is really a great honor to invite someone who I admire so much in her excellence and in her work. Let me invite the third First Lady of Namibia, Her Excellency Mrs. Monica Gengos, to give a goodwill message. Your Excellency.
Thank you for that kind introduction. I had gone to the Middle East and I was introduced as the third First Lady. And somebody, when I left the stage, they said to me, "So how many wives are you?" And I realized, no, I think former First Lady is okay. Thank you very much. My husband was a passport holder of Sierra Leone and traveled with it and was very, very proud of it. And I think at this point, Your Excellency, I think I qualify for an honorary passport as well. Because what is happening in Sierra Leone is special to all of us. And I think it's really centered around leadership. It's around His Excellency's leadership. I had the privilege to be at the Harvard Ministerial Leadership Program about a week ago. And there were 4 ministers from Sierra Leone. 3 of them were women, 1 was a man. It was the Minister of Gender, it was the 2 Ministers of Education, there was a Deputy Minister of Health. And I must say the Sierra Leoneans didn't stand back at all. And really lit up the room with their energy and their thoughtfulness. And to me, it reflected on you, Your Excellency, for how you choose your team. But ministers they are fireable. First Lady's aunt. So it's important that you choose your wife right. And I think you really chose the right wife in Fatima. In that she really provides cover to the leadership Your Excellency provides in the campaigns that she does. And I had the privilege of attending the launch of the We Are Equal campaign, which has now been launched in 18 African first countries to populations of 650 million. And it's been an effective campaign. And I need to thank Fatima because at the time that I was the president of the Organization of African First Ladies, she played an incredible role in shaping how we think of it. Before I was the First Lady, I was a lawyer, I ran a private equity fund and co-owned a commercial bank. And one thing as a lawyer I know is that marriage is a contract. And like all contracts, there needs to be parties who offer something and give something, and you must agree on what's being provided. The problem with child marriage, it defies the essence of a contract, where one party does not have capacity to consent to this contract. And when you ask yourself what is being exchanged in this contract, it's really the child's future. And when you exchange a child's future, you exchange the future of the family, of a community, and of the country. So by recognizing that this is a bad contracting law and changing it through the law, I think it's recognizing that Sierra Leone is exactly where they need to be in changing the law and making sure children are protected, but that the country and its future is protected. I was impressed by something that was said by the president when he was at the We Are Equal campaign, where he spoke about changing the law isn't enough. It's an important first step, but you must change mindsets. And I really want to focus on that, because a law doesn't change people's minds. If they're not convinced that this is the right law, it will continue. So what I was impressed with was the work that the president was talking about, and I know that the First Lady also had a campaign to convince traditional leaders and really community leaders to give them time to not enact the law immediately, not to make it effective immediately, but to take some time in terms of changing mindsets. Because in a way, the easy part is changing the law. The hard part, the one that takes years to change, is people's minds. But one thing when we change people's minds is to changing mindsets, but we don't change mindsets if we don't feel we don't have the right leaders. I'm looking at your deputy minister, who gave me hope, frankly, at that Harvard ministerial program, because she reminded me of the potential that African leadership presents, but you also wouldn't be there if you didn't have an incredible leader who could spot talent. So I want to thank you, Excellency, for your leadership. I think you're an incredible example to leaders across the continent on a range of issues, because it's not only in ending child marriage that you've been leadership on, it's all aspects of gender equality. So I want to thank you very much for all the work that you do. Thank you.
Sierra Leone is where it needs to be change the law, but also change mindset. I thank Her Excellency Monica Gengos, former First Lady of Namibia. We can still call you the third First Lady of Namibia. It is really an honor to also invite to the podium Her Excellency Melissa Santohai Sinchai, First Lady of Suriname, for goodwill message. Your Excellency.
Good evening, everyone. Excellencies, First Ladies, ladies and gentlemen. What can I say? As all the speakers before me and the video states a lot. And I think that My sister Fatima, if you've met her, if you've seen her, you know there's power, there's energy. And once she sets her mind to something, you can see what she can achieve. The fact that she didn't take limitations for an answer, and she speaks her mind. And that is where you are in a community, where you are in a family, where you can do that, where you have the opportunity to do that. And I understand that where you have that, you saw the need for everyone else to have that. So you have, with your strong will, with that power, with the support of everyone around you, you were able to make a difference in the lives of many, thousands, millions, because it has expanded beyond your borders. So the work you have done and the work that has enabled you to achieve this for so many lives is, I don't know if there are words to explain it, but it is so liberating. I hope that's something that is liberating, and it's liberation, and it's changing lives for the better, not only from this day forward and from the moment the legislation passed. But it started before that. It started with the movement, and it started with Fatima. Fatima, continue to do whatever you're doing, and you have all of our support. Congratulations.
Your Excellency, your work is liberating with impact across regions. I thank Her Excellency, First Lady of Suriname, for a goodwill message. He handled the gavel at the passing of the important legislation. And so it's an honor to invite not only the Honorable Speaker of the Parliament of the Republic of Sierra Leone, but my women in college, the Honorable Mr. Thomas.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Your Excellencies, Madam First Lady of Sierra Leone and other First Ladies present here, honorable members of the Sierra Leone Parliament, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Child marriage is recognized globally as a harmful practice that disempowers women and girls in particular and hinders gender equality. Girls who are married as children are more likely to drop out of school, suffer domestic violence, contract HIV/AIDS, and die due to pregnancy-related complications. This is a truth that we all would ordinarily not find problems with accepting. But this practice has lingered for generations in human practices and traditions due to some phony patriarchal mindset. It is therefore impressive that we are gathered here this evening not only to dine, but to continue the conversation relating to this grim subject. As a nation, Sierra Leone has had its share of troubles and misfortunes, but we are a resilient people. We have always emerged very strong and determined. I wish to state, even as I stand before you this evening, that the Parliament of the Republic of Sierra Leone had collective consensus in passing this particular bill into an act. We have been able to identify these elites, generally as Sierra Leoneans, and we have always come together to address problems that have affected us as a nation. Sierra Leone as a nation had identified child practice, child marriage as an evil of Sierra Leone. But the problem we had was leadership. And we needed the leadership that could have championed this particular change. It will interest you to note that that leadership was provided by His Excellency the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone and his beautiful wife, the First Lady of the Republic of Sierra Leone. And even as I stand here, I wish to state that I have been sent by our ancestors to stand here in a land of freedom and to extend thanks to His Excellency and the First Lady for providing the required leadership. When I spoke about consensus, it does not mean that we did not have the opposition party in Parliament. We have a very strong opposition in Parliament. An opposition that will find fault with every little position of government. I wish to state that for this particular bill being passed into law, the opposition accepted clearly that it was good to do so. And thanks to Her Excellency the First Lady of the Republic of Sierra Leone. Of course, when you saw in the footage, what you saw in the footage was real. She sat right there in the well of Parliament. Of course, on so many occasions we passed laws where those who even campaign for these laws to come to Parliament could not even come to the well of Parliament until some of these laws were passed. But in this case, the First Lady sat there. She did not only sit there, she went on sending comments to the opposition party to say, "Dear you know." She challenged them during all the processes leading to the passing of the bill into a law. So let me take this opportunity to thank her profusely for championing this campaign. This is a practice that even our human minds will tell us is wrong. But nobody in Sierra Leone championed the cause to have it prohibited. And I wish to state that this particular law is pretty ambitious. Ambitious in the sense that the law does not only prohibit the practice, the law also went all out to make provision for compensation of victims and, of course, for the rehabilitation. This is where I think organizations, child-related organizations, should come in. Because at this stage, I think Sierra Leone should be used as a vanguard. Sierra Leone should be used as a vanguard to showcase how laws like this can succeed in the nation. So I thank you very much for listening and for supporting. I know, of course, as a matter of fact, even as I stand here to tell you about this law, I know as a matter of fact that some of you will be here to ensure that it succeeds. Because this law should succeed so that Sierra Leone is used as a vanguard for all to see. Thank you very much.
I should have let you know that he was not only my roommate, but he introduced me to college politics. And so he lost the podium. Rare consensus in Parliament, leadership to champion change. Thank you, Your Excellency, Madam First Lady, for that leadership to champion change. And Mr. Speaker, please extend our thanks to the 6th Parliament. We have 2 more speakers, and now I would like to invite Her Excellency, Dr. Fatima to express
my dear husband, my dear sisters from Suriname, Cyprus, Malta, Bermuda, Ghana, of course Monica from Namibia. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor for me to stand in front of you here to say the vote of thanks. Normally you do the vote of thanks at the end, but tradition demands that when the president speaks, nobody else speaks. And there is a president in the room. So I just want to say thank you to every one of you for taking the time to be here. Of course, this is a very serious issue. In Sierra Leone, we're moving ahead, we're forging ahead with the right leadership. His Excellency has been at the forefront of everything that is transformative when it comes to women's issues in our country. We in Sierra Leone today will say we are very lucky to have him as our president right now. And I want to also take the opportunity to say thank you to Mr. Ziad. Thank you, officer, for footing the bill. Every time we do something in Sierra Leone and it's a big deal that the world needs to know, AfriCell will come forward and say, you know what, whatever it costs, we will pay. So this bill, I don't know whatever is the bill, but all I can say, enjoy your meal, eat as much as you can, and then we send the bill to them. Thank you, Zia. I'm very much grateful. I want to thank you all of you, for coming here. But I want to especially thank His Excellency the President. You know, we have 54 African First Ladies, and we all have the things that we champion. There are certain sensitive matters that some African First Ladies they don't touch, especially when it comes to rape issues and when it comes to early marriage. But the reason why I've always had the tenacity to be at the front doing things like this is the fact that I know that our champion is His Excellency the President. So if you're going to complain me, you're going to complain me to the champion of women's issue, and he's not going to listen, because he believes that women should be given the opportunity to fight. He believes that women should be given the space to succeed, and he has shown it. It's not like lip service. The President of Sierra Leone has proved to us. He did not only give us 30% for the elites, that 30% of all our jobs, public appointed positions, positions for MPs where they have to vote for them, but all ambassadors' positions, all ministers, deputy ministers, parastatals, 30% of all of those positions today are held by a woman. In fact, we've gone beyond 30%. If we are to really count properly how many it is at the moment, we are almost towards 40, but we're not saying anything. We pretend to assume that it's still 30%. But that is the kind of president we have, a man who is not scared to bring women on the table so that they can contribute to nation building. And I'm very grateful that he had given me the platform, he had given me the space, and he has supported whatever it is, no matter how crazy the idea is, he has supported it. And those ideas are not mere ideas for us. These are things that we passionately believe needs to happen. And the banning of early marriage is one of those things. And I want to please, ladies and gentlemen, if you can give a round of applause for His Excellency. And thank you. To continue this way, I know by the time he leaves, we would have gone to 50%. I am very sure of that. The women will be celebrated because we might not want him to leave. But he has done wonders for us. He has given us an opportunity, and that opportunity, we are living in it right now, and we are making good use of it. So I want to say thank you to all partners, everyone. When we went for the prohibition of early marriage bill, the speed that I had, I could not involve a donor partner, because that bill has nothing to do with money. That bill has everything to do with commitment, and that bill has to do with our children, the children of Sierra Leone. So if you're a donor partner and you wanted me to have come to you and I didn't, it's not because we don't want your money, it's just because our speed was just too fast to wait for the money. So does it mean that we have to build safe homes? We have to build other stuff, because when you pass a law like this, there are things that you need to put in place also, so that this law become more effective. And one of the things that I believe that we need to have is safe home. And I will not do justice standing here this evening if I don't personally say thank you to the Speaker of Parliament who is here with us. When I went to Parliament, the Honourable Speaker introduced the bill to Parliament. He said, I quote, "This is my bill." And if you are a member of Parliament, I want to remind you that I am the Speaker of Parliament. And this is my bill. Which means, if you want to have peace with the Speaker of Parliament, you have to pass the bill. Honourable, thank you. You've been a dear friend, you've been a dear brother, you've been a dear husband to me. May God bless you. I'm grateful. And thank you to all of you. And President Bill, continue to do what you do best. Save us and continue to save the children of Sierra Leone. May God bless you. Thank you.
Excellencies, thank you very much, Excellencies. Honourable Speaker of Parliament, Your Excellencies, First Ladies of OFLAD, Government Ministers present here tonight, distinguished representatives, UN Secretariat personnel, and our development partners present here tonight, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, a very good evening to all of you. Allow me to join in echoing the heartfelt sentiments and warm Sierra welcome already extended to all of you to join us at this high-level dinner. I recognize, of course, and we all do, that New York is a very busy place about this party, where you spare the moment to come here, and it's truly appreciated. It is a profound honor to engage with at a critical time on such an important issue, as we unite our voices under the theme, the voice of change, ending child marriage to protect the dignity of the child. The issue of child marriage is one that strikes at the heart of our commitment to human dignity, human rights, the advancement of gender equality and girls' and women's
empowerment. In Sierra Leone, we recognize that child marriage does not only deprive our young girls of their right to education, health, and a secure future, but it stifles the potential of an entire community. When we allow the most vulnerable amongst us, our children, to be subjected to early marriage, we silence their voices. We cut short their dreams and hinder the progress of our nation. In Sierra Leone, the fight to end child marriage is not just a moral imperative, but a national priority. We have embarked on comprehensive efforts to address the root causes of this harmful practice, from improving access to education and healthcare, to promoting gender equality and empowerment, empowering our women across all sectors. As a government, we have taken significant strides in legislating against child marriage. The Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2024, which I recently signed into law, is a testament to our unwavering dedication to safeguarding the rights of our children. But as has been alluded to by the First Lady, legislation alone, however, will not suffice. It requires the collaboration and commitment of communities, in this case, the whole of Sierra Leone, and for other nations joining us, civil society, religious leaders, and international partners to change the mindsets and attitudes that have for far too long been accepted child marriage as a norm. At the heart of this struggle are the voices of the victims and the very girls whose futures we are fighting for. Their courage to speak up, their resilience to dream bigger, and their determination to push boundaries must inspire us all to be agents of change. These girls remind us that ending child marriage is not just about enforcing laws, but also transforming societies. The girls don't have a champion in Sierra Leone, in the person of the First Lady. Her initiative, the Hands Off Our Girls campaign, is impacting various facets relating to the protection of and the well-being of our girls in Sierra Leone. We also have continental champions, and I want to thank Your Excellencies, First Ladies of OFLAD, and other First Ladies around the world for your excellent leadership and hard work. But to the First Ladies of Africa, we applaud your work and support, and let us indeed build this important alliance for our girls and women. Tonight, as we sit together at this high-level dinner, I call upon all of us to reflect on the collective power we hold to reshape the future of the next generation. It is our responsibility to ensure that no girl in Sierra Leone and anywhere in the world is forced into marriage that robs her of her dignity, future, and fundamental human rights. Yes, together we have the power. Together, let us amplify the voices of change. Together, let us work to end child marriage. Together, let us protect the dignity of every child. Please enjoy the rest of your dinner. I don't want to bore you. Your Excellency, thank you so much for your